I request all of you to recall a very famous advertisement from DD National, where a woman used to say, "Uski sari meri sari se safed kaise?" How is her dress whiter than mine? I can very well relate with the psychology and behavior that we as a parents display. You know, I have done a survey. I have asked one question to 100 parents, and the question was, do you compare your children with their siblings, cousins, friends? And you know what shocking response I got? 70% of the parents said, yes, we do compare in order to motivate our child. And 23% parents said, we do compare but not on their face. And 7% parents said, we don't compare at all. Well, what is the harm in the comparison? After all, parents are comparing for the children's betterment. When I studied psychology, I got answer to this question. Look at this image. When a child is getting the environment of comparison, negative talk, his brain rewires for external validation and external achievement. What people will say, what people will talk about me, rather than focusing his own intuition, his own creativity, intelligence. And it will lead to distraction of mind, an impact on his overall performance, and it will build a less confident personality, as you can see in the picture. Complete confused personality. You know, friends, I was also among those 93% of the parents until just few years ago. You may raise your hands if you can resonate with me. I can see lots of hands raising up, and which is no surprise to me. Let me share my parenting story with you. I am Dipti Singhal, a chartered accountant by profession and a mother of 14-year-old daughter Advika and 10-year-old son Akshaj. When I became mother, I wanted to become best mom in all the aspects. And you know what? I started taking result of great parenting soon. My son has become international spell bee champion in the age of 6. And my daughter has become an author in the age of 11. I was like on the top of the world. I feel like, I'm very much confident mother and no one can beat me. And in that confidence, whatever my children was doing, I feel like I am adding feathers to my cap. And each of their achievement, I started feeling proud about that. And their achievements became mine. And their failures also became mine. And everything was going great. Then things started changing. My son lost interest in spell bee. And my daughter lost interest in writing. And that was the time I felt something is terribly wrong with me. I didn't want to be in that phase at all. And I started doing, I was like, how to help my children. I was the person not able to unleash the true potential of my children. And one fine day, I was just sitting and introspecting myself that what I should be doing it. And I realized that there is not many mistakes in my parenting. One thought just crossed my mind when I am struggling with the oceans of thoughts, what about my parents? How they had effortless journeys despite of many struggles, despite of limited resources. I still remember when my father lost his job and about a year he was struggling the next chapter of his life and he decided to open a savory, a chaat shop in Indore. Entire family came together and we were helping in his decision. And my mother was the backbone of the entire business. She was helping with the various chores. And my younger brother, he was just 7-year-old at that time, and his responsibility was to serve pani puri on the shop. And he was not able to, reach the pani puri pot, so he used to stand on a stool and serve. This is the design created by my daughters to just give an idea how it will look like when a 7-year-old stand on a stool and serve pani puri. Next to that is my brother. He was 7 at that time. I realized there was a lot of challenges. But the best part was, my parents was having a beautiful smile on their face. These are my life skill mentors and my parents. And when I was comparing my parenting with their, I realized I was completely focused on the end result while missing the beautiful process to reach there. What they were doing it, They have never compared themselves with their relatives or friends. Those were financially sound at that time. Neither they put the burden of their own dreams and inspirations on their children. Being a finance professional, I always believe in growth. Growth in numbers, growth in achievements, growth in my feathers. But is it a real growth? Can I put my children on a growth tragedy and start dealing with them in terms of numbers and achievement? Whatever little I have achieved in my life that made me worthy of standing at TEDx platform is all because of them. They believe in strong value system and habits. For my parents, habits are like everything. They always say, while the right one can build you and the wrong one can burn you. Well, the fog of confusion started to fade away and I realized where I was going wrong. That was the time I took a much needed positive turn in my parenting. And with all this learning, I discovered 3 beautiful pearls of parenting. Let me first share how I discovered those pearls with you. So when this phase was going on, I started reading a lot of books, and that was the time my daughter was about to step into her teens. And I studied a lot about rebellion behavior, teenage issues. To be very honest with you, I was nervous, but a bit confident that I'll be able to manage this phase in a better way. I continued studying various things. And I started penning down my thoughts in order to help other parents, because I realized the problem is not with me. The problem is with many parents. And I ended up crafting a book on parenting. I was very excited because I've never thought of becoming an author. I went to my daughter and I gave my book to her and said, Advika, generally children learn from their parents, but today I have learned something from you and you are my mentor. We both became very much emotional. She hugged me, she kissed me, and that was the time I feel I took a first positive step in my parenting. And that was the most needed turn, and we became author buddies. She started discussing with me her new book ideas. And this was just a starting. Let me share another incident. My daughter is a creative child. She used to make a lot of to-do list. We call it as a habit smilometer, where she used to track her wake-up time, sleep time, and various other stuff. But I observed from a couple of months, she was not doing that. And I was the one desperately wanted her to start that, because I have seen the shift in her energy when she was doing it and when she stopped that. And now with all those learnings, I can't say, you started again, because that's what I am not supposed to do that. I thought of taking a different approach this time. I have created my own smilometer and I started following that. Though I was not very consistent, I was procrastinating at time, but still somehow I was managing it. Then I thought of taking help of my daughter. I went to her and I gave my smilometer to her. And I said, Advika, I need your help. She said, okay, Mama, tell me. I said, I want you to become my accountability partner. She was like, blank of her face. She said, what is this accountability partner? I said, you need not do anything. You have to just see my progress. And by end of the day, before we hit the bed, you should sign my smilometer. She was very happy. Like how I was signing her diary, now she got authority to sign her mom's diary. And it was not that easy for me. It was quite challenging, because I would have to hear, Mama, you could have done it now. And to avoid this question, and obviously to set an example as a mother, I ended up finishing all of my tasks. And this helped me eventually coming out of my habit of procrastination. And it was just a starting. Just imagine what happened after 10 days. My daughter came to me and she gave me her smilometer and she said, Mama, will you become my accountability partner? And that was the ultimate wow moment for me. I was waiting for this day from long, and without asking, things started happening. And my younger one, my son, he was observing entire conversation between me and my daughter. He approached me very next day, and the same question he asked, Mama, will you become my accountability partner? That was my daughter's smilometer, and this is my son's smilometer. I felt I was completely passionate to drive my kids towards success and achievement. And I was blindsided by an important path. That was the purpose behind that. At time I feel being a parent, we treat our children like an AI tool. Those can work on our commands, on our prompts. Let me share you how I discovered 3 parenting sense with you. So the first sense that I discovered, that is connect first, correct later. When you are able to connect your child emotionally, that is the biggest blessing you have. And sometimes connection doesn't require. It happens automatically, how it happened with me. So second pearl of parenting is ask your child to become your accountability partner. You know, at times we ask many questions to our children. What is your marks? What is your score? Your expectations you ask many times. Their projects, their work, everything. Once they have this authority, they get a lot of confidence. You can be accountability partner for your screen time, for your wake up time, your habits, your health, your goals, for many things. And the moment you do, there will be a shift in their energy and your energy as well. And the third and most important, that is something I got it from my grandmother-in-law's bag. She is my grandmother-in-law. She lived a life of 99 years. And with no medication, no BP, no sugar, no heart disease. And the secret of her long life was she lived a very less life. So the third secret I picked from her bag, and that is celebrate tiny wins. I started my family's tiny win celebration, whether that is the book reading of 200 pages of my son, or my daughter's first inter-school Modern United Nation participation, or my first headstand, or my husband's first guitar habit, garden of my mother-in-law's rose, and my father-in-law's new learning. I started celebrating each and every moment. And I realized when we do the small celebration of these tiny wins, at time only the efforts, it will impact and it will lay down the path for a bigger wins. So it is very important, and no one likes serious people. Do you like serious people around you? I'm sure not, right? Then why should children should have serious parents, right? So smile more often. Whisper in their ear how much you love them. Hug them, irrespective of their age. With the help of this platform, I want to urge millions of parents, give freedom to your child and release them from the clutches of comparison. Allow them to fly high with their own dreams and desires. Let them breathe free. I want everyone to take a pledge with me. Let's take a pledge together. Let's take a parenting pledge. Chalo pahal kare. Chalo pahal kare to create memories, irrespective of how much busy we are. Chalo pahal kare to have a growth mindset rather than too attached with the result. And chalo pahal kare to connect first, correct later. Chalo pahal kare to make our child our accountability partner before we want to become there. And the most important is, chalo pahal kare to allow them to write their own stories before we write one for them. Thank you so much.